Thanks for having me again for the 30th Annual Economic Forecast. And really a big thank you to the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce on behalf of our organization for your partnership and collaboration, not just this past year, but for many years prior to that. I want to give a shout out to my friend Bill. He has immersed himself in our community in very short order, understands the economic issues and the challenges and the opportunities that we face here. And he's used his wealth of experience and network of contacts to join forces with community groups here, and we're much stronger because he's here with us today. So thank you, Bill, for your partnership, and as importantly, perhaps more so, thank you for your friendship. We appreciate it. Over the Thanksgiving break, I finished reading 2 books. One, Blue Ocean Strategy. And in Blue Ocean Strategy, the authors detail and talk about how a community or a company or an organization can systematically reinvent themselves, can systematically create new competitive space in which to operate. So if you're wondering why Ringling Brothers is no longer and Cirque du Soleil is thriving, it's a great book to read. And I think if you did so, you'll view your industry and your company, your organization in a far different way than perhaps you do today. The second book was Janesville, Wisconsin, An American Story. And in that book, the author details the closing, or General Motors' decision to close a 1,400 employee truck plant in Janesville, Wisconsin. Janesville is just a little bit larger than Salisbury. Talks about the aftermath and what the community went through, the workers, the families of the workers, the business community and economic development folks, the elected officials, and how that town itself created its own blue ocean strategy in an attempt to reinvent themselves. And it talks about and I won't spoil the ending for those that wish to read the books, but it talks about the time it took to create that strategy and the time it will continue to take to realize the strategy to come to fruition. But I mention that because I think it's indicative of the economic environment in which we compete today. How can we, as a community, differentiate ourselves from others? How can we stand out from the crowd? And what can we do to better our economic goals and the vision? We're seeing technology applied to agriculture and industry, and to information, and to healthcare, and to higher education, and to law enforcement like we've not seen before, and it's creating a great amount of market disruptions. It's also creating a great amount of economic opportunity, and those communities that can seize upon those opportunities will be those that move forward in the decades to come. We had a great year last year. We welcomed or helped to expand new companies like Toroyd P&H, RDI Wire and Cable, Altec Associates. All 3 companies operate within the cable, panel, and harness business. All 3 are manufacturers. All 3 project 50 new manufacturing jobs. We were pleased to work with the principals of Craig Technologies, Seaford-based precision machine shop, as they acquired and merged with Manufacturing Support Industries here in Salisbury, the resulting entity known as MSI, based in Salisbury and projecting 50 new jobs there. Pleased to help Piedmont Airlines expand its headquarters presence and the operations presence at the Salisbury Regional Airport, and I know you'll hear more about that a little bit later. And we were pleased more recently to welcome NatFin International out of Montreal, who's chosen Wicomico for its new feed additive manufacturing facility. We reached record employment last year in July of 2017, and no time in the history of Wicomico have that many people been employed, and we saw an unemployment rate drop throughout the course of the year, dropping below 5% for the past 6 or 7 months. All good news. The challenge, I think, last year, and even 2016, 2017, and likely into 2018, will be the tightness of the labor market. As I talk to employers, and if you're in the hiring mode, maybe you're experiencing this. They tell me, Dave, we're having trouble finding that right fit. We're having trouble finding the skill sets we need for our particular company. We're having trouble finding for those skills for us. On the other hand, I talk to people looking for work, and they're saying, Dave, I can't find a job meaningful to me and that fits my skill sets. And that's what we're seeing in the marketplace. So next year, our organization, along with some partners, will enact and pursue several initiatives to better connect people looking for work with the jobs that we have, not just in this county, but also throughout our region. We'll continue to work with our leading industries, agriculture and agribusiness, healthcare, higher ed, and manufacturing, and work to develop ancillary and support industries from those particular sectors. We have a healthy pipeline of projects for 2018. Those companies will likely be, as they have been in the recent past, smaller in size initially, more innovative, more nimble, more niche-oriented, locating to our community due to a value-added proposition of sorts. There's a natural resource here. There's a worker skill set here. There's a customer base here, or a partnership opportunity here. So we look forward to that. If I can leave you with one thought today, and that would be this: what might we do as a community today that will yield results 20 years from today? What might we target today? What initiative might we put in place today? Or what investment, what might we invest in today that will yield results 20 years from today? And do we have the patience and the stamina and the commitment to do that? I was shopping with my, probably shouldn't tell this, but too late. Is this on pack 14, by the way, in case Christine says, oh boy. So I'm shopping with my wife, and we're in the supermarket, and it's not necessarily her preference, right, because of the commentary up and down the aisles we make. And we hit the milk section, and it's a huge milk section these days. I mean, there's all kinds of milk. There's whole milk, there's skim milk, there's soy milk, there's organic, there's 1%, there's 2%, all these kinds of milk, all kinds of brands, all kinds of containers, very colorful. And sure enough, she goes to the organic. It's $4.99. I mean, I'm eyeballing that thing. I know what's in the refrigerator. I know what she's going to pick up. And it says half-gallon, $4.99. And I said, wait a minute. What's wrong with the one with the red cap? That's $2.50. You know, we grew up, and that's what we bought, one with the red cap. And Brian, and she proceeds to tell me, well, you don't know what the cows are eating in the field, you know what the farmer's putting on the fields, you know what they're injecting in these animals, and on and on and on. And this is just healthier. And Brian, one of the store managers, was stocking the bread just the next aisle over, and I said, hey, Brian, when you were growing up, what kind of milk did you guys buy? He said, hesitantly, he said, hey, we bought the one with the red cap, Dave. I said, thank you very much. She looked us both in the eye, picked up that organic milk, put it in the cart, and that was the end of the conversation right there. So, but going forward, do we have the commitment to identify what we might do today for the health of our community 20 years from today? Thank you for your time.